I'd like to bring out our star of the evening. Can you please give it up for Preston Cooper, ladies and gentlemen? So what we like to do with this series is really highlight your journey to Nashville, since it is called New From Nashville. So you just wrapped up your tour with Riley Green. You dropped your debut album and you played the Opry for the first time. What has this stretch of your life been like so far?
It's kind of like crawling in a rocket ship and taking off to Mars. That's pretty much the description. It's been crazy. It hasn't blown up yet, though, so the rocket hasn't blown up.
Luckily.
Which is good.
So you got your start as being known in your town as the singing mailman, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So not an average start, but how did that whole thing conspire? How did you get that nickname?
Well, I was playing gigs while I was working at the post office. I'd play local bars and stuff, and I love singing. And I would sing around town and, just covers, some originals. And actually, I think I'm going to play one tonight that I used to sing on my route. And, I just kind of gave myself something to do so I didn't go crazy, because I did the same thing every single day.
So you walked around that town and people were aware that you had an end goal of being in Nashville, correct?
No. Actually, I didn't plan on moving to Nashville until after I quit. And I was actually playing a gig, and I met these boys, the songwriters, the Warren Brothers, and they kind of peer pressured me into moving. So I did it 9 months later.
And I want to ask about them a little later on, too.
Yeah.
But when people heard that you were, wanting to make an album at some point, did they think you were kidding? Did they think you were going to get up and do it, move to the city and make it happen? Or was it something that you kind of had to prove them wrong with?
I think from my hometown, it's possible, but the thought of it's not really possible. You know what I mean? It seems so far away. And, but I had a ton of support when I decided to move and do it. They were all just like, go live your dream. Even my boss, when I quit, he's like, dude, go do what you want to do. And that was really cool coming from my town. But yeah, it seems like non-reality, like fiction kind of, to get there.
So when you were delivering mail, you were on your feet a lot, correct? Walking and delivering?
14 miles.
Oh. So is there something that has stuck with you from those days of walking those 14 miles that you still carry with you today?
Work ethic. Just finish the job. Yep.
You traded in the 14 miles for a tour bus. Which is more frightening?
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah.
Which is more frightening to you? Just being on the road like that? Yeah.
Oh, probably the tour bus, honestly. Dogs, they weren't that scary, so sometimes they got me, but not often.
So a couple of months ago, you put out your debut record. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
So the title is Toledo Talking. And what does Toledo mean to you?
Well, that's where I was found, actually. Like I said, the Warren Brothers, I was at a Holiday Inn in Toledo, and I was playing a corporate gig, and that's kind of how the whole thing started, was that night. And I just thought it was just another gig. And, something I learned from that night is you always play your best, because you just never know who's in the room. So if there's any musicians in here, that's my advice to you. Just always play your best and give it your all every single night.
And talking more about the Warren Brothers, who helped you craft this first record. They've worked with Keith Urban and Dierks Bentley and Tim McGraw. What's something that they pulled out of you that you didn't think you had in there?
Man, kind of a lot.
Yeah.
I was super green. I still kind of am, but I was very green when I met them and moved to Nashville. But I think songwriting was the biggest thing they taught me, and just have fun in the business. I think that's also, don't take it too seriously all the time, because sometimes we just get in our head too much, and then it becomes more like a job than anything. So, but I just remember to have fun doing it. So.
Your music and the whole album and your live performances, as we're going to hear in a few moments, it's been described as blues-dipped country.
I love that. Thank you.
Yeah. So and a lot of that is attributed to your voice and your vocal power.
Yeah.
Was there a specific moment where you realized that you're able to make those sounds and hit those notes in that style?
Not a specific moment. I'd say the moment is probably like 5 years of practice, and took a lot to get there. It just didn't happen overnight. So I'll never forget the first time I heard Chris Stapleton, and that was like my guy. And I was like, I studied him. I loved his music. I still do. And that's just kind of how I did it. I just practiced my heroes, B.B. King, Ray Charles, Chris Stapleton, Stevie Ray Vaughan, Elvis Presley. Just, I don't know. I love that type of music, and that's kind of how I got my voice, I think.
So you really live that blues life and try to inspire so much of that in your songwriting, it sounds like.
Totally, yeah.
100%.
And still kind of fit the Nashville country thing.
100%.
Yeah.
So take me back to this summer, because you were on the road with Riley Green. You're playing a gig at Red Rocks, and a special announcement comes out to you. Can you just describe that for us?
Well, it was funny because my tour manager had me come out to the stage like way early, and I was like, "What are we doing standing here?" And he's like, "Just watch the show." And at the end of the night, Riley invited me to play the Grand Ole Opry, and let me know the surprise. So that was pretty cool, and it was really emotional that night. I learned a lot. I seen my vinyl of the album for the first time that night as well. So there was a lot that happened, and I'll never forget it.
So that first night at the Opry happened a couple of weeks ago. And I like to ask when people come to us after they make their debut, and it's still fresh, what is your head like in that moment? Because I can only imagine stepping into that circle. I don't know what I'd be thinking, but I like to hear what it was for you.
It kind of seemed like surreal, My grandparents always told me when I was little, like, if you could play the Grand Ole Opry, it's kind of like you made it. And it really felt like it that night when I walked in the artist entrance. It was like, man, this is really happening. And I was super grateful for it too, for the moment and the opportunity, but very emotional as well. So that's the feeling.
So usually on those nights, it's kind of a lineup at the Opry. Who were you performing alongside with?
Charles Estes was there. He's actually an actor too. So it was funny because I sang my set and he came out. He's like, "Dude, who are you?" And I was like, "Hey, I watch you on TV." And he started laughing. But him and Carrie Underwood and a few other people, so songwriters.
So to sum it up, you're 22, you made your Opry debut, the debut album is out. With so much happening, you're in a different city every night pretty much.
Yeah.
How do you take the time to stay grounded?
I think keeping my family close and keeping God first is something really important to me. And that's really how I do it. And I keep my circle small, friend-wise, and I really just, like I said, I keep it small and trust those that are close to me. So that's how I do it.
Is that harder and harder as it progresses on in your career to keep it that tight?
I don't know the answer to that question, really. I haven't experienced it too much, I guess. But, I love making friends and stuff, but, I kind of have my circle and those people I trust.
Who you rely on.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yep.
Well, let's talk about the song specifically. Week is climbing the charts. It's a top 30 single for you, which is huge for a debut.
It's crazy.
So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
What did you expect people to say and think when they first heard this song? Because I'll tell you, the first time I heard it, I was blown away by the intro, vocal. What did you envision people's reactions being like? I know that's kind of a broad question, but if you were listening to that song for the first time, what would you think?
I'm kind of biased, but if I heard it for the first time, I'd turn it up. That's just my opinion. Because I listened to that type of music growing up, and it was very inspired by that. So personally, I would like it, obviously. But honestly, I didn't know how people were going to react, and I think that's the excitement and the nerves about just releasing a song to the world. And so far, it's working. So thank y'all for liking it.
Like I said, I was blown away by the vocal, which leads to the question. So you're in the studio recording this album. Do you have to tone it back a little bit at all, or do you let it rip the whole time with the grit? I
think, live, it's game on. Let's rock and roll. In the studio, it's more just dynamics and phrasing, and there's a lot that goes into it actually. But occasionally, I'll let her go. But a lot of times, you kind of have to hold back, and that's what really makes a record a record. There's a lot that goes into it.
For sure. Well, I'd like to change this up a little bit with some fun. I have
a
tradition here.
Okay.
When I do these, I have something called Cup of Questions.
All right.
I personalized some questions for you.
Okay.
If you wouldn't mind just pulling one out.
You got any bad questions in here? I'm just kidding.
No, nothing that you're not trained on.
Right, yeah. Just read it.
Please.
Okay. What's something you've learned about yourself since moving to Nashville? Whew. A lot. With the travel and stuff, I've learned what my body can handle. That's a big one for sure. Because I'm in a new city almost every night. So I actually just had a week off and went hunting at the farm in my hometown, and that was really nice.
I saw that on your Instagram.
Oh, yeah.
You got a buck, right?
I did, yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
You get another one?
All right. You're creating your own festival lineup. Who are the 3 headliners? Huh. That's a really hard question.
Let's do
dude.
a live or
Live?
alive or passed on.
Oh,
so
alive.
if you wanted to say Elvis, because I had a feeling he'd be on your list.
Okay. Stevie Ray Vaughan is definitely
Yep.
one of those. I love Stevie. Chris Stapleton. And probably me. No, honestly, probably Bob Seger. I'm a huge fan of Bob Seger.
Nice. Very good. One more, then I'll let it rip.
All right, here we go. I'm just itching to play here. I haven't played in like 2 weeks, so I'm super excited tonight. I think y'all are going to have fun. So, if you could instantly master any instrument you don't already play, what is it? Probably
my answer.
Yeah. Probably the piano.
Really?
I would love to. I mean, I can kind of play, but I don't master it.
Sure.
But I would love to really learn how to play piano.
If I could wake up tomorrow and be able to do anything, it'd be play the saxophone. I don't know why.
Saxophone? Yeah. My guitar player actually plays saxophone too.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I'm just so happy with everything you have going on right now.
Well, thank you so much.
Very thrilled for you. We're very thrilled to have you here.
Thank you, Ben.
Without further ado, I'd like to present to everybody Preston Cooper to play a few songs for us.
All right. Thank you.